morning, Bronxites. It's that time again for our look at sports. Let's begin with our defending champions from the BX. That takes us out to the soccer field and the latest from New York City Football Club. New York City FC gave Major League Soccer observers ample reason to discount their MLS Cup title defense in August and the month of September, sliding into a 1-6-2 tailspin after the summer departures of their head coach and star striker. Beating Orlando recently, combined with their 2-0 Hudson River Derby win over the New York Red Bulls just before the international window, gives City hope and conjures up comparisons to the dramatic autumn surge that powered their dash to the MLS Cup in 2021. 7 straight postseason appearances for NYCFC. We'll stick with NYCFC for our Turn Back the Clock feature this morning. Let's hop in our time machine once again and relive the club's first ever game at Yankee Stadium, March 15th, 2015. This is Bobby C. reporting from Yankee Stadium, where the historic opener for the New York City Football Club did not disappoint. NYCFC defeated the New England Revolution 2-0 in the historic opener, and of course it was their star, David Villa, with the game's first goal.
I'm very pleased with the performance today. Obviously we are growing, we're still growing because as a new team, but we are delighted. We scored 2 goals. We could have scored some more goals in the second half. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the fans publicly in a cold day like this to give us the support that they gave us.
It was a nervous moment, I think, for me to not know what the fans would be like here, to meet them for the very first time, and I couldn't be more happy with the support that we had and with the atmosphere in the stadium and the job that the Yankees did to welcome us in for what I think was a good show.
Patrick Mullins put the icing on the cake in the second half with the game's second goal.
My job is to make sure I'm on the right end of that and put it away, and tonight's about NYCFC and what we're about as a club, and I just hope I can keep doing that moving forward. That's all I really am caring about.
All the buzz in the post-game in the locker room, of course, was playing at the historic site of the New York Yankees.
In soccer, the 12th man, as we call him, it helps so much, and in the second half, we hear them chant and want more, so we loosen up and we play some good soccer out there.
It's been a great home for the Yankees, and you're wondering how it's going to be our home, and I thought it was really special to see how the fans made it that, and like I said, I think the presence was right tonight.
Man, time really does fly, boy, oh boy. When not dazzling on the field, NYCFC has done some amazing things off of it here in the Bronx. That includes a wonderful community event recently at Crotona Park. NYCFC's neighbors, the Bronx Bombers, dropped 2 of 3 to rival Baltimore in their final homestand of the season at Yankee Stadium. That series highlighted by one final home try for Aaron Judge at historic home run number 62. The Mets, meantime, were duking it out with rival Atlanta on the road. The Amazons didn't look amazing at all in Atlanta, but they did promote #1 prospect Francisco Alvarez, the standout 20-year-old catcher considered by most outlets to be among baseball's top 10 prospects and considered the top prospect in the sport, #1 overall, according to MLB.com. Caps off a monstrous season with his first call to the majors. Exciting. Splitting his time between AA and AAA this year, the young slugger posted a combined .260 batting line with 27 home runs, 22 doubles, a 14.1% walk rate, and a 24.8% strikeout rate in 495 plate appearances. Here's Mets GM Billy Epler on the team's prized prospect.
Once we moved him to AAA, I think a couple people here asked me some questions about him going to AAA, and that's where I really start to hone in on people and consider them all candidates. So everybody that's playing in AAA is a candidate, and we're watching them really close. That's our most readily available player pool, and so when he got to AAA, he could drive that, I'm really thankful that he communicated the discomfort that he was feeling in the ankle. Once he communicated that, we were able to step in and do something about it. And so that happened, and, he kind of took it from there himself.
The MLB postseason is upon us. The return of the NBA and the NHL are too. We caught up with New York City native and New York Knicks up-and-comer Obi Toppin on his excitement for a new season.
It's New York. Like, I'm from New York, so the opportunity to be here for another year is amazing. Like, I wouldn't change it for anything, but it's still a business. I still got to go out there, do my job, and I'm going to do that every day. So, for sure, that's all we can, man, not a lot of people are in this position, so that's all we can do is have fun. But yeah, coach controls all that, and we're here. I'm ready whenever my name is called, just like every other player. So whenever my name is called, I'm going to try and give 110 every day. So,
my man, Obi Toppin. The young season has been kind to the New York Football Giants, who started 3-1 following a home win over Chicago. The team's Bronx-born star is doing it all. We go back inside the locker room for more.
When I saw Tyrod go down, I kind of realized, like, oh, I'm up next. I mean, I'm the quarterback. So, like I said, it really, I think, first of all, you got to give credit to DJ coming back in the game. You know, he's, I can't curse. He's a tough, you know what I mean? And nothing but respect for him, and to go in there and continue to fight through that for his team, just shows you the type of person, the type of player he is. But I think, you know, I just tried my best to read it. It's really not that hard, I guess, but I think I made the right reads on him. But like I said, we were able to keep the ball moving, get downfield, get some points, and defense did a great job for us.
Giants and Jets have looked pretty good thus far, perhaps better than expected. Fordham football has also started strong. The Rams crushed Georgetown on family weekend here in the Bronx. Roll 'em.
2 turnovers in the first half is not how we want to operate, but I thought the guys, you know, gathered themselves and really did a great job right at the end of the first half. Second half, you know, we were better defensively than the first, but we got to be cleaner offensively. I thought we executed pretty well. You know, ran the ball for 277. That's a pretty good day. So, you know, generally pleased overall. Just plenty we need to clean up.
What can I say? In the New York groove. We'll close this sports roundup with a nugget from the world of racing. The governing body for Formula One says IndyCar star Colton Herta will not be granted the super license that the American needs to join the F1 grid next season. Unfortunately, the FIA decision was not a surprise, though. Red Bull was interested in the 22-year-old Californian and considered giving Herta a seat at AlphaTauri, its junior team. AlphaTauri has already said that Pierre Gasly will return next season, and Yuki Tsunoda received a contract extension too. However, AlphaTauri has acknowledged it would release Gasly, who is apparently wanted at Alpine, but only if it had a compelling driver such as Herta to put in their car. F1 has not had an American on the grid since Alexander Rossi in 2015, but Herta did not particularly want the FIA to make an exception to the licensing system to get him a seat. To be continued. That American F1 driver is out there somewhere. I think you will see Colton, who has joined us right here on BronxNet during the pandemic, as the next one, but it could come in 2024 or 2025. Those are the headlines. We hit the C list for a Bronx remembrance. I was saddened to hear the passing of former Yankee Hector Lopez. When I was a kid, my mom would always put me to sleep with stories of great Bronx Bombers at night. The team wasn't very good in the 1980s, and I lived vicariously through her stories from the great teams of the 50s and the 60s. The best part was always learning about a Yankee legend that wasn't as widely known as, say, stars like Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, or Whitey Ford. Her and I would go to the baseball card shop, a thing of the past too, and collect cards of those players from back in the day. I still remember my first Hector Lopez card. The former infielder and outfielder passed away at the age of 93 recently. He was a staple at Yankee old-timers days. It always was cool to see him and interview him. Lopez was a 2-time World Series champion and played in parts of 11 Major League seasons. A native of Panama, he began his professional career in 1952. He played 3 years in the Athletics farm system before reaching the big leagues in May of 1955. That marked the first of 4+ seasons with the franchise back when it played in Kansas City. Lopez saw most of his early action at third base, but also logged time at second, shortstop, and in center field. He was a solid hitter immediately in the bigs, hitting at least .273 in each of his first 3 major league seasons and getting into double digits in homers 5 straight years. Over his time with the A's, Lopez hit .278 with 67 long balls and 99 doubles. The Yankees acquired him midway through the 1959 campaign, and he spent the second half of his career right here in the Bronx. He topped 100 games in 6 of the next 7 seasons, increasingly seeing more time in the corner outfield later in his career. He often shared an outfield with Mantle and Roger Maris, as you saw before, in the early 1960s, contributing to a team that claimed 5 consecutive pennants between 1960 and 1964. New York went on to win back-to-back titles in '61 and '62, with Lopez collecting a homer and a triple in 4 games during that classic 1961 World Series. Over parts of 8 years in pinstripes, Lopez hit .262 with 69 home runs. He finished with the Yankees in 1966. After playing 2 more minor league seasons but failing to return to the majors, he retired. He finished his playing career with 1,251 career hits, 136 career home runs, and 591 career RBI. Once his playing time wrapped up, he kicked off a lengthy career as a minor league manager, broke some barriers there. He worked in affiliated ball for a few decades and managed the Panamanian team at the 2009 World Baseball Classic. Rest in peace, Hector Lopez. It was a pleasure sharing your story with our fans this morning on BronxNet. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay tuned, more open coming back at you right after this.